Hey, what's up? My name is Alex and today I'll show you how to make progressive house leads like Martin Garrix. But before we start, YouTube Analytics says that only 30% of people who watch and like my videos are subscribed to my channel. So if you're not subscribed yet, let's fix this problem. Just hit the red subscribe button and be first to know about new useful videos. Alright, now let's move on to the tutorial. Recently I decided to remake Martin Garrix track High on Life and this is what I've done. Now I will turn off leads processing chain and we'll listen to each layer without effects. As you can hear, each layer is different, and this is the main idea of layering. If you want to achieve rich and interesting sound, then you have to combine different layers which sound good together and which support and complement each other. Also, each layer has its own purpose, and now I'll tell you why I used these layers. Let's start with the first one, it's a high super saw. As you can hear, this layer is very active in high frequencies, so it gives brightness to the whole lead sound. This preset is from MusiCore LOST pack. It's called Avenues. Next layer is another super saw, but it has different sound. This layer makes the sound more full. The next layer is a super saw again, but this time this layer has a vibrato effect. Because of the pitch vibration, this layer brings some colors to the whole lead sound. Here I used Nexus stock preset. Lead number 3 is a heavy super saw. As you can hear, this layer is very wide and detuned. It makes the drop leads sound huge. For this layer I used Nexus. Now let's move on to the next layer, which is a piano. I love to use piano as a drop leads layer because it gives organic feeling and some extra punch to the whole lead sound. Again, I used Nexus for this layer. The next layer is a mono super saw, which is basically a body of the drop leads. This layer is probably the most important, just listen how it affects the whole lead sound. Lead number 6 is another heavy super saw. Lead number 7 is a violin. Violin gives organic feeling to the whole lead sound, which is very important in progressive house. And the last layer is just white noise. It fills high frequencies. Alright, after I found good layers, I set the right attack, decay, sustain and release parameters. These parameters are basically a shape of sound, so if you want your lead layers to sound like one huge sound, then you have to change some of them. I usually set the same release time for all of my layers, but of course sometimes I also change other parameters as well. By the way, here you can find attack, decay, sustain and release parameters in Nexus. Alright, now I'll show you how I process drop leads. First I set the right volumes for each layer. Then I turned off reverb and delay in both Nexus and Silent, and then I routed each layer into individual mixer channels where I equalized some layers a little bit. After it, I routed each layer into group channel where I made this processing chain. Now I will tell you about each plugin I used here. So first I used this equalizer to cut low frequency noise which comes from piano and violin. Then I used FabFilter Saturn to saturate leads, and yes, this time I haven't used Camel Crusher. And as you can hear, this plugin makes high frequencies more sparkling like fireworks. Then I used OTT compressor. I set mix knob on 16% to achieve smooth and light compression. After compression, I used another equalizer to add some final changes to the sound. As you can see, I cut low frequency noise again, because it appeared after compression. Also, I cut harsh high frequencies because they sound unpleasant for my ears. And also I did some tiny boosts. And finally I added reverb and the sidechain. This is how my reverb preset looks like. And that's all about making leads. Now I'll tell you about some common mistakes which I hear in many demos I receive. So, first mistake is using similar layers. For an example, some people just layer 3 or 4 high supersaws, and of course their drop lead sounds weak. As I showed in this tutorial, try to avoid using the same sounds. Each layer must be unique. Well, of course, this knowledge comes with experience, so if you want to start layering bright and powerful leads, then you have to watch many tutorials, especially on my channel, of course, and pay attention to which layers other producers use. And of course, you should practice every day. Another common mistake: some people don't use mono layers. Mono layers are extremely important because they make drop leads stronger and more stable in the mix. Also, some producers like to boost high frequencies on their leads, but be careful because, as I showed in this video, high frequencies could be very unpleasant for listeners' ears. By the way, if you are looking for good presets, I recommend to check MusiCore Progressive House sample packs. I'll put link in the description. And now I have very important information. Recently I faced some problems with my YouTube channel. For an example, my latest videos is not showing correctly in search results, my subscribers don't receive notifications about new videos, and YouTube support is already working on these issues, so no worries, but if you haven't seen my previous huge tutorial about Riot's progressive house, I really recommend you to check it out. And now, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and write your questions in the comments. Have a nice day.